any unreasonable behavior that disturbs others or disrupts the meeting, and it is subject to removal and penalties if it persists after a warning. This also includes city employees and council members. Harvey police officers are present at public city council meetings to assist the chairman in preserving order. If any person is ordered to withdraw or leave the meeting by the mayor or chair and refuses, that person can be cited and criminally charged with disorderly conduct. The Harvey police can escort the person out of the building. If the person refuses to leave and physically resists the Harvey police, that person can also be charged with resisting arrest. Under Illinois law, resisting arrest is defined as knowingly resisting or obstructing the performance by one known to be a peace officer, firefighter, or correctional institution employee of any authorized act within his or her official capacity. This constitutes a Class A misdemeanor. The statute requires that the act of resistance must involve some physical act that imposes an obstacle that may impede, hinder, interrupt, or prevent or delay the performance of the officer's duty. Examples include struggling, wrestling, going limp, or physically aiding a third party to avoid arrest. Illinois law explicitly states that a person is not authorized to use force to resist an arrest by a known peace officer, even if the arrest is believed to be or is in fact unlawful. Resistance of even an unlawful arrest by a known officer is a violation of the statute. Thank you.
Can the older persons please sign in?
Good evening. This is the City of Harvey City Council meeting. Today is Monday, March 24th, 2025, at 7:08 p.m. We have everybody, all council members to sign themselves in as present. Okay, we have a quorum. Next, we'll have on the agenda invocation of pledge of allegiance that we can all take. Heavenly Father God, we come to you asking you for your forgiveness, O Lord, and also asking you and thanking you, so Lord, for what you have done for us. We thank you for your grace, mercy, and favor. And we ask that you will continue to bless us, Lord, as many times as you have blessed us over and over again, Lord. We ask that you bring the Spirit into this place and that you will touch our hearts so that we can be with each other in the Christ-like way, so we can handle each other in the Christ-like way, O Lord. We ask, the Lord, that you will put on our hearts and our minds what is not only best for the city, O Lord, but what is your will. Because your will is most important, Lord. Yes. And we ask that you will continue to touch those who have not been able to make it to this meeting. Because there are some people in the city of Harvey and abroad that have challenges, oh Lord, that we may not see, we may not hear. But we know that if they can walk along your path, oh Lord, they can find a healing. They can receive a blessing because there is a balm in Gilead. Yes. And it heals the sin-sick soul. Yes, Lord. So we ask you these things because we know that you are a way shower and a way maker. And we ask these things in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so next item on the agenda is executive session, discussion of personnel and litigation matters. The chair entertained a motion to go into executive session. Motion by the sixth, second by the third. Go ahead and catch your vote. votes. I think she had already pressed the button. Everybody to do so. We're good? Yeah. All right, fantastic. It is 7:11. We are going into executive session. We hopefully will be short. It'll be short. Thank you. Six A, approval of minutes dated February 24, 2025, was our public hearing. We have a motion by the, here we go, let's see now. We have a motion by the sixth, a second by the third. Is there any debate? Yes. Chair recognizes.
For the hearing, no.
Good.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Hearing none, you can cast your votes. Motion carries. 6B, approval of minutes dated February 24, 2025. That's a regular meeting. It's a motion by the first, second by the third. Is there any discussion? Is there any debate?
Yes.
The chair recognizes this is the fourth ward.
Thank you, Mayor. For the approval of minutes, section B, new business, number 5, the minutes does not reflect on the resolution and what was said by myself on how I felt about the mayor being reimbursed for the demo. In conclusion, public comment does not show what was said by the residents. It is important to have a record on how residents feel and the impact that it makes for the current time frame. It's bad enough to not give a reply to our residents, but to not have their opinions on record, in my opinion, is disrespectful to the residents we work for.
No one's being disrespectful. It has already been established, not only in the city of Harvey, but cities all throughout the United States of America, that minutes do not have to be verbatim. They can be a reflection of generally what took place at the meeting. If there is no other debate, we have a motion and a second, and we can cast your votes. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is approval of minutes 6C, March 10th, 2025. The chair entertains a motion to approve. Motion by the first, second by the third. Is there any debate? Hearing none, you may cast your votes. Motion carried. Next item, 6D, March 18th, 2025, approval of minutes. The chair will entertain a motion to approve. This is a public hearing. There's a motion by the sixth and a second by the third. Is there any debate? Hearing none, you may cast your votes. Motion carries. Thank you. Your next item on the agenda is 7, approval of bills. 7A, approval of bills dated February 24, 2025. Is there a recommendation from the Finance Committee?
Yes, sir, Mayor. Finance Committee, had an opportunity to review February 24, 2025, and motion that the recommendation that we ratify bill for that day.
There's a motion by the 6th, a second by the 3rd. Is there any debate? Hearing none, you cast your votes. Motion carries. Next item is 7B. That's approval of bills dated March 10th, 2025. Is there a recommendation from the Finance Committee?
Yes, sir, Mayor. We also had an opportunity to review bills list for March 10th, 2025. The chairman recommends that we pass the bills.
There is a recommendation. There's a motion by the 6th, a second by the 5th. Is there any debate? Hearing none, you may cast your votes. Okay, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is 7C, approval of bills dated March 25th, 2025. Is there a recommendation by the Finance Committee?
Yes, it is. We had an opportunity to review the bills for March 25th, 2025, and the recommendation goes to the entire council to pay the bills.
Okay, there's a recommendation, motion by the 6th and second by the 5th. Is there any debate? Hearing none, you may cast your votes. Motion carries. Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is item 8, approval of ordinances and resolutions for the city of Harvey, 8A old business, none. 8B1 is an ordinance regulating alarm systems and local alarms. This ordinance amends the Harvey Code of Ordinances to provide a registration fee and a fee to be assessed in all incidents in which the fire and police department respond to a business for a false alarm as provided in this ordinance. The chair will entertain a motion to approve. Motion by third and a second by the first. Is there any debate?
Yes.
Chair recognizes the fourth ward.
Thank you, Mayor. When it comes to this ordinance, I'm not in favor of this ordinance. One word to explain, I don't feel it's fair to our residents. The reason why I'm saying, I know we're not responsible for raising our taxes. The Cook County has done it. But when we go through the city and the services that we're being provided, because our vacant property, our streets, our lights, everything, I don't think it's fair to have our residents be able to have to pay more money and for us to get more money for the city for services that we're not continuing to provide. We're staying leaning on our residents to find sources of income. Therefore, I would ask that the committee vote against this resolution.
Thank you very much. If there is no other debate, the chair recognizes the first, I thought third over here too, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm asking the city council to vote in favor of this ordinance for the simple fact that we have a lot of businesses, and if their alarms are malfunctioning, it creates habits among the residents. The fees granted is minimal for peace and for the safety of our police officers. $20 a registration fee, $30, $35 for businesses. I'm asking you to support this. Thank you.
Okay, before we go forward, I want to hear from both the police chief and the fire chief regarding this particular ordinance and how it impacts their daily operations. Or in this particular case, deputy chief.
we have instances where our officers are dispatched to calls for service, and there may be separate times we go to a business for a call for service for an alarm that's went off, and they had to ticket the actual business owner several times. So we have it where an officer will go to a residence, or I'm sorry, an officer will go to a business 4 or 5 times, their alarm will continue to go off, and they've never been cited or nothing is never done. So it takes our officers away from calls for service that are important to the residents and to the city. So now this will kind of help regulate that, where businesses will be cited, they'll have to pay a fee or a fine, and we'll no longer have to pull off some of those imperative calls for service that we know our officers have to go to in order to stop those alarm calls.
Okay, what about residential? Because you spoke of businesses. Does the same thing happen with residential homes?
Yes, sir.
Chief?
It's pretty much the same with the fire department, just like the chief just spoke. Anytime those alarms are activated, we respond, whether it's a false alarm or a true emergency. We have reminded business owners that they need to police and reference to hotels, persons who stay there, they smoke or do whatever they do. With the malfunctioning alarms, they've been advised to do something about maintenance, and sometimes we get the response, I don't have money, or I get to it. And same day, 3 or 4 times, they're right back at that location for the same work. So we have the same,
So regardless of how many times that malfunctioning alarm may go off, you still have to go back and respond to that alarm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First I got the third word.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to be clear, it's not for residents, it's for businesses. You know, those people that
No,
don't
it's
pay
for
their
residents
taxes.
too.
Well, this ordinance here says for
It
businesses.
says $20 for residents and $35 for commercial, is what I read. Unless I read something incorrect.
That was my same observation, that it said for business, it didn't say anything about residents.
Yeah.
No. So if you go to page 8 of 9. Okay? Page 8 of 9. There is the amendment and there is the list of fees, unless somebody from my team tells me otherwise. Does everyone see it?
I just did.
Okay, it says alarm system registration fees, $20 per residential, $35 for commercial. Okay, that's if you, that's for your registration fee. If you have an excessive false alarm, which we have already passed that ordinance, I don't know how long ago, that's a $100 fine if you continue to have those excessive false alarms. Okay, so I want to make sure that everybody understands. No, this is not just commercial. Chair recognizes the first one that gets well, the 6th city has to use that first word.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would also like to know that this is not the first time that the false alarm goes off. It's over 3 within the consecutive a year. So it's not like, oh, you know, like I have a personal alarm. My alarm went off last week. The police department didn't come, or the fire department, because of the fact that I was able to dismantle the alarm. The point of it is, if they did come, I would still have 2 more opportunities before I would get penalized. And this just compensates for the rest of us, you know, so I'm definitely in favor of this.
Yeah, see it now, section 5-05-035, if any system produces more than 3 false alarms within a calendar year. So, yeah, I see.
And just real quick, Mayor, this is a common practice in other municipalities.
Yeah, this is
Village of
not-
Dalton, Village of South Mountain, other municipalities around the area actually do this as well, where they do this. So.
Well, we're the only welfare city in the world that operates, and we have to provide governments for no taxes, no revenue, no nothing, and we're still required to provide everything that they need. It's amazing how we're able to function the way we do, seeing that nobody wants to pay anything to live here, you know. But that being said, I won't get on the box. We have a motion by the third, a second by the first. The debate is ended, so you may catch the vote. Motion carries. The next item,
I'm sorry, that's ordinance 3510.
3510. Next item on the agenda is AB2, a resolution requesting community development block grant funds from Cook County for the program year 2025 Investing Cook program. This resolution authorizes the city to request CDBG funds to assist with funding for design improvement to 157th Street. Is there any debate? Well, first of all, I'm sorry, there's a motion by the third and a second by the first. Now is there any debate? Hearing none, you can cast your votes. Motion carries.
That's resolution 4000.
Resolution 4000. Next item, AB3, resolution waiving competitive bidding for demolition costs for the building located at 15222 Lewis Avenue, City of Harvey, Illinois. There is a motion by the third. Oh, excuse me, this resolution waives competitive bidding, for a demolition contract to be awarded for the property located at 15222 Loomis Avenue, City of Harvey, Illinois. There's a motion by the third, there's a second by the fifth. Is there any debate?
Yes.
Chair recognizes the fourth ward.
Thank you, Mayor. When it comes to resolution number 3, I am once again I'm against this resolution based on, I feel, this favoritism. When we have a bidding process, anything over $5,000 is over bidding over to any contractors. I would like to see somebody else have an opportunity to put their bid in, particularly somebody in the city or residents of Harvey. Therefore, I'm asking the committee to vote against this ordinance.
Is there a particular business in the city of Harvey that you know that does demolition that can handle asbestos products as well that would be qualified for this particular project?
Did you put any information out so they could respond?
No. My
Okay,
question
then I can
is,
answer it.
do you know of it? That's the question.
Yeah.
Okay, would you please tell us who that is?
Is it gonna make a difference?
Yes, it will make a tremendous difference.
This is my point that I'm trying to make right here. The information, the process is not fair. We are eliminating over the original bidding process. Anything for $5,000 should be put out for open bid without no excuses of me explaining who exactly it is, but they may not want to know or even give that information or waste their time when we're already doing this process. We are going over the process of our bidding process and paying favoritism and giving it to one contractor and not open to anybody else, period. I'm not going to even tell you who it was.
Okay, so you didn't answer that question. That's understood and noted. Now, as far as competitive bidding is concerned, our competitive bidding is not $5,000. So you are misinformed as far as that is concerned as well. But you have an opinion, we appreciate your debate. The reason why this is being done and the reason why we have asked the council to waive competitive bidding is because we are trying to get Ms. West back in her property as soon as we possibly can. And we know how long it takes for this particular thing to happen. We have waived competitive bidding before, and I think it would be appropriate in this particular case to do so, because we care about our residents, as you spoke about earlier when it came to dealing with the alarm fee. Here's a resident that's trying to get back into their home, and we're trying to help them. So you can, if there is no other debate, you can cast your vote, and your vote will speak for itself. We have a motion by the third and a second by the fifth. Motion carries.
That is resolution 4001.
And finally, number 4, a resolution declaring surplus of real estate for sale. This resolution makes a declaration that certain real estate properties owned by the city are surplus of no current future use to the city, and such properties are available for sale. That would include both commercial and residential. That would also include properties being available to people who live within the city and people who live outside of the city. There is a motion by the third and a second by the sixth. Is there any debate? Hearing none, you can cast your votes.
That is resolution 4002.
4002. Now it's time on the agenda for public comment. Number 9, public comment is encouraged and appreciated. This is the only opportunity for the public to address the city council on agenda items and any other considered business. In order to accomplish our business on the agenda and be respectful of everyone's time, council members will not engage in dialogue with individual members of the audience, and no immediate action will be taken on any public comment issue. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. No speaker may donate his or her time to any other speaker. The comments shall be courteous and respectful at all times. No person may use public comment for the purpose of campaign or advertisement. This is not a question and answer time, and council cannot engage in conversation with the public. Questions and concerns about operations should be addressed with city staff during regular business hours. So first, on the agenda, public comment is Ryan Sinowski, followed by Glennis James Watson.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan. I'm with the Harvey Historical Society, also a resident of Harvey. I see the agenda tonight that Mayor Clark wants to make people sign up their alarm systems and pay a fee to Harvey each year for having them. My question is, why does the city need a yearly fee in a person's private information in order to have a security alarm? We did a little bit of research and found out that the city of Naperville, which you may have heard of, a pretty successful Illinois city, it's one of the largest towns in Illinois. They do not require any businesses or residents to register their alarms or pay a yearly fee. They do, however, have a sliding scale of fees for false alarms, giving 2 free and ending at $350 per occurrence for more than 11 false alarms in a year. So my question is, if a city as successful as Naperville can do that, why is Harvey charging yet another fee, as the alderman noted, to overtaxed residents and businesses? This is clearly another scam and extortion tactic and should be abolished immediately. Maybe if we got more notice of things before they were voted on, as we have asked for years, maybe we could give feedback. But isn't that funny how we never get information about what's voted on before the meeting? It's almost like they just want to push the legislation through with no feedback from residents. Secondly, why is Mayor Clark not getting multiple public bids for the home he's trying to demolish? He shouldn't be lending money to taxpayers to demolish his burned home in the first place. But not bidding it out is even more suspect. Since we haven't seen the city finances, what is to keep the mayor from charging taxpayers $500,000 or some insane figure to demolish the home? He might even employ one of his campaign donors like TK Construction to do the work. This has scandal written all over it. Another thing that I almost forgot to mention, we have constant mysterious fires in Harvey. I have asked the fire department, many people have, to figure out what is going on. We get no answers. This house just burned in January. We should have an independent outside investigation to figure out, we may have an arsonist in Harvey. I mean, is it just random that we have fires constantly? I mean, we should not be immune to that and think that that's normal. That's not normal. So, at the very worst, this could be potentially covering up a crime. This could be the scene of a crime, of an arson. And why is the mayor using his personal money? I mean, it's not good. Lastly, about the surplus properties, I mean, we need to know about this before the meeting starts. Why is there so much secrecy involving city-owned properties? What are the mayor and other city officials doing with these hundreds of parcels? As I've said before, we need a public, transparent process to sell city-owned properties, give priority to Harvey residents and businesses. Mayor Clark campaigned on this in 2019. 6 years later, he still has not done what he promised. We deserve better, and please do make sure to research your candidates and vote because we have local elections going on. Thanks.
Next up is James Watson, followed by Missouri Urban.
Good evening, my name is James Watson, and I'm resident of First Ward. In previous meetings, there have been people who have given public comment to say what is not, people who are not, who are speaking out or are negative and not going along with the plan or, going along with the process of making Harvey a better place. But what I'd like to talk about tonight is what is not positive. What is not positive is a lack of financial transparency. And then spinning the narrative to make it seem that those of us who are speaking out for our rights, for financial accountability, are disruptive or being negative. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want that kind of information. Alderman Chapman speaks out for her residents in the second ward, and she's constantly shut down. And I don't understand why the other alderpersons aren't speaking up for their residents. What also is not positive is denying our freedom of speech. Every time we cross that threshold, our First Amendment rights are being trampled on. And it's under the guise of keeping the meetings orderly. Everyone in this room is being stifled by that bogus legal notice that is recited at the beginning of each meeting. Everything named in that legal notice is protected by the First Amendment. Why would anybody be all right with that? Why would anybody want to be under that type of ruling that we can't say what we want to say, we can't speak out from our seats, we have to be quiet without the fear of being fined for disorderly conduct? Also, what is not positive is treating residents as wards of the city instead of stakeholders. We have all these police around this room and outside. That's the police intimidation. There's no need for that. That's just to keep us in line and keep us in order. And that's not right. We don't need our alderpersons and our elected officials to do things for us. What we need is for you to do the things we want and need you to do as our elected officials. And that this includes treating us as human beings, worthy of dignity and honor. And if you don't see us, the stakeholders, the residents, business owners, as worthy of that, in that way, then perhaps you should step down and make way for someone who will care about serving. Thank you.
Next is Missouri Urban, followed by Jacqueline Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Missouri Urban. That's Mauzkie, last name Ervin, former trustee of the Harvey Public Library. I come to you guys with a different kind of message tonight. There's a struggle that's going on that's much bigger and in dire need that's going on in our country. Our whole democracy is being challenged and slowly dismantled. It doesn't matter whether you're white, black, Hispanic, Indian, Middle Eastern, it doesn't matter. They're coming for everybody. I just want to read a couple things to you. This is what's at stake. Medicaid, food stamps, Medicare, Social Security, our jobs, our wallets, our bodies, women's health care, fair elections, personal data breaches, public lands, veteran services, cancer research, the CDC, consumer protection, clean air, clean energy, our schools, libraries, free speech, immigration, our judicial system being dismantled right before our eyes, the Department of Justice, Black history in all levels of government being erased, minority history. Everybody in here is going to be affected by one of these things. And I just hope that y'all will take the time to go to this rally that is going to be on April 5th. That's a Saturday from 12 o'clock to 2 at the Daily Center Plaza. We must stop Trump and must illegal billionaire power grab. It's of the utmost urgency. I know things are not perfect in our city. We got some things that are good and we got some things that we need to work on. But this is really important. The more people that come to these rallies, other cities are watching all over the United States, and that will give them the strength to stand up and to fight and to retain our government. We don't need to turn the clock back to how it was 60 years ago. My name is Berserk Irvin, punch 133 for Harvey.
No, absolutely not.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Wilson. I'm from the 4th Ward. And what I would like to say is this. Since Mayor Clark has been elected, all I have seen is him trying to make Harvey a better city. There have been so many different things that have happened out here. I know there's a lot of things that might need to be done, but conflicting with each other is not gonna work. It's not gonna work at all. I'm here to ask a question because I know that I have a home here and I do pay taxes. Everybody here that has home pays taxes. Why come businesses don't have to pay taxes? Why don't we have to pay taxes? Why are we being sued that I heard, that I read? Because businesses feel like they do not have to pay taxes. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard it from the assistant of my ward, my alderman, the 4th Ward and the 2nd Ward. So that's my question. Why businesses don't have to pay taxes? How is the city gonna run without money? That's mine. That's the end for me, you all. Continue to trust God. Stand together. Because the longer we apart, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. The city is improving, and I know you all have to see it. Praise to the Lord.
Thank you. Next is Mayor comment. Won't be long. If anybody, I'm trying to get this straight. So we just, excuse me, passed the resolution 4002. It's a resolution declaring surplus of real estate for sale. So I want to repeat that again. If anyone is interested in purchasing property from the city, whether they live in the city or outside the city, the property is available. Also, you can go online and see the city's properties. So when we hear some of the statements that are just totally, I don't know where they come from. They pull them out of places and orifices that I've never even heard of. But the simple fact is, you can go online and you can see all of the properties that are available from the city. You can go in and you type city properties. Am I correct there, Caesar? you can go on to City of Harvey, IL.gov, and you can type in the search bar, city property, city-owned properties. So if you just take the time to do that, you actually might see something that you might be interested in. If you are, there is also there are also procedures that you need to follow in order to be able to procure those properties. Now, I do want to make a quick statement as far as what just happened, because this is one of the things that happens just about every single time. People will get up at this podium and they'll make statements about the city, and they'll talk about what the city isn't doing. And then they'll ask for transparency, and they'll ask for information. And then when I start to give that transparency, they leave the room. Which I'm just really confused about. But they leave the room. Or when we have the meetings where we're going to provide that transparency, they don't show up to those meetings. But they continually have a complaint about the lack of transparency. Okay, this city has, I've been here for 55 years, this city has more transparency than I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. And if there's something that you're not getting, I always repeat over and over again, you can come to meet the mayor from noon to 3 o'clock on Friday. If it's really that important to you, if it's something that we're not telling you, or you feel that we are hiding, we can have that discussion. I have also said that if you feel like not if you know, but if you feel like there's something criminal that, or as they say, untoward or nefarious going on in the city, you can always call the state's attorney's office, the attorney general's office, or the Department of Justice and let them know. I will entertain them at any time if they would come to our door and say that there's a problem going on in the city. If you have not bothered to do so, if they have not responded to your complaint, and if they have not come up to the city, please let us go about doing the business of handling the city business the way it needs to be handled. Now, as far as what you can and cannot say in our meetings, you have an opportunity as a citizen of the United States of America, of the state of Illinois, and the city of Harvey, to express yourself under your freedom of speech. But your freedom of speech does not allow you to go ahead and disrupt our meetings and say what you want to say anytime you want to say it. There is a proper place for that. That proper place is called public comment. It seems that in this particular venue that it is distinct and different from anywhere else. If you were to go to Congress right now in Washington, D.C., to the House of Representatives, you cannot go and disrupt their meeting and think that that's going to be acceptable. If you want to see how much it happened, if you look at the address by President Trump just the other day, one of the Democratic members actually interrupted the meeting, and they censored that member. And shockingly, 10 other Democrats went along with it. So you can't just go and disrupt the meeting. There is a point and a time for you to say the things that you would like to say. And as you see, people get up here and say some of everything, except for that part about trying to advertise for their election. Because I specifically read here, public comment for the purpose of campaign, no person may use public comment for the purpose of campaign or advertising, which shows you that that particular person is just told, when they talk about disrespect, does not want to adhere to the rules. But at the same time, they want you to elect them when they don't want to adhere to the rules. Go figure that out. But you can say what you need to say in this meeting, and we're never going to put down people's freedom of speech. But you have to use some sense and speak at the time when it is appropriate. And it's a shame that we have to have our police chief get up and explain to what's supposed to be decent folk what the rule is as far as how you're supposed to be decent. Because we have a few people that just don't want to follow the rules. You know, it's a sad state of affairs of what we're going through right now. But I understand it. I spoke on it the last time I spoke, and people don't like when I preach, but this is a spiritual warfare, people. That's exactly what this is. It's spiritual warfare. If you ain't, get in your book and read. Last but not least, as far as property taxes are concerned, yes, we have businesses that don't want to pay their property taxes and have not paid their property taxes. Some of those businesses have not paid their property taxes from going on to 10 to 20 years. And because they have not paid their property taxes, the citizens of Harvey have to suffer. Because if you pay your property taxes, if you don't pay your property taxes, if you don't pay your property taxes, the first thing that's happening is you're probably getting kicked out of your home because you didn't pay your property taxes as a resident here in the city of Harvey. But these businesses get to come to the city and not pay their property taxes for years, for decades. And what amazes me is that all of you are not incensed by that. That's a smack in your face. They take your money out of your town to their towns where they live, and they have streets, lights, curbs, and sidewalks. They have better fire and police protection. Somebody got up here and said something about Naperville earlier. Yeah, they take the money to those places and they spend the monies that they should be paying here, and they spend it in those places. And every single resident in the city of Harvey should be incensed. We put out a list of businesses that have not paid their taxes. And I ain't seen now one or nobody stop doing business with those businesses for not paying their taxes, or asking them why don't they pay their taxes. But then have the unmitigated gall to come up in here and start talking about what we're supposed to do. That's a lot of nerve. And honestly, it's starting to grate on me, as you can probably tell. But that's because I'm sick and tired of hearing it, because at the end of the day, these people, we could have had an additional $4 million in 2021 if the businesses would have paid their taxes. Those $4 million, that $4 million could have gone to take care of some of the issues that we have that we need to address as far as our streets, our lights, our curbs, our sidewalks. We got more police officers that we swore in 2 weeks ago, 15 more police officers, but we don't have enough cars to accommodate all of the police officers. If we had $4 million, we could go ahead and we could buy those police cars. But no, they're a bunch of hypocrites. And that's the thing that really gets me. They are a bunch of hypocrites. And they are willing to fight against their own self-interest because they have something personal against me. Because they have something personal against this administration. When this administration is doing a fantastic job, when I say this administration, I'm not just talking about people over there. I'm talking about people right here. Okay? Because none of this stuff can be done, I see it again and again, without the council understanding and supporting these measures. And I thank them before and I thank them again. But I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I'm going to start speaking out more on it. And you're going to start to hear more from me, and I'm going to start calling you out. You want to call me? Fine. I'm going to call you too. Now, last but not least, for those that would like more transparency, we expect to have a full room on March 31st, 2025. between 6 o'clock p.m. and 8 o'clock p.m. That is our community solutions meeting with yours truly, Mayor Christopher J. Clark, Monday, March 31st, 2025, from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. We are going to be talking about the City of Harvey Comprehensive Plan. Some people in this room participated in the comprehensive plan. Some people who complained about the fact that we have a comprehensive plan participated in the comprehensive plan. But we will be discussing it. We have not had a comprehensive plan since 1968. I'm gonna repeat that. We have not had a comprehensive plan since 1968. So, for the first time since 1968, the City of Harvey has a comprehensive plan that is going to give us some instruction on what we are supposed to be doing as a community. And this is an apolitical plan. It doesn't matter if I'm in office or if somebody else is in office. We now have a plan that tells our leaders the direction that we are supposed to be going out as a community, regardless of who's elected in any of these seats. So, for those who really want transparency, I really would love to see you on that day so we can have this discussion. You get to ask questions. You will not get to hold the microphone, just so you know, because we are not entertaining speeches. So if you are coming with the intention of making speeches, maybe you should stay home. But we are allowing you to write down your questions, and we will take your questions in an orderly fashion. This will not be the event for speeches and political grandstanding. But we'd love to see you, and we hope to have a full house. So thank you very much for those who took the time to listen. Really appreciate you. As Ms. Wilson said, you know, we need God, we need him, we need him. And so we hope that everyone will stay prayed up, and we hope that everyone will stay in prayer for our great city. That being said, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Well said, man. Well said.
Thank you. There's a motion by the third and a second by the first. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none, we stand adjourned at 8:22 p.m.